This class is about the survey research, and survey research is one technique which can help you to write your project, and that is why I have invited almost all students to this class. Now, survey research is probably a most easiest method to write a project, or you can write a PhD through survey research also. In survey research, the most important part which normally students are afraid of, that is using statistics in psychological research, that is almost negligible. It is there, but it can be only in the form of calculating percentage, frequencies, identifying normal distribution, to some extent just understanding descriptive statistics like mean, median and mode. So beyond that, the difficult part of statistics need not to be used, and this is my personal impression about the survey research. Some complicated survey research may need higher level of statistics or inferential statistics, but in general, if you have to complete your project in 6 months, so then survey research is the best way. Now, how to do it, that we'll discuss today. So the first point is concept and meaning of survey research. Second is steps involved in conducting survey research. So when I am discussing the steps, I am covering almost other all aspects which are given later also. Methods or instrument used in collecting data through survey research. Types of survey research. Actually, this we have already studied in previous classes. Constructing survey research. How to construct a survey research form. Type of questions in survey research to be added. That is structured questions or unstructured questions, or combination of both structured questions and unstructured questions. Precautions while designing instrument. Advantage and disadvantage of survey research, and difficulties and issues of survey research. So one thing you have to remember, survey research is the most frequently used technique in management research. It can be used in psychology also, but in psychology it has to be used with certain caution, because psychological research normally demands the primary data, and that is why some precaution has to be taken while using the survey research. Now let's go ahead and we'll try to understand concept and meaning of the survey research. In survey research, the researcher collects the data with the help of standardized questionnaire or non-standardized questionnaire, or with the help of interview, which is administered on a sample of respondent from a population. Now, here two words are important, and that is sample and population. So you have to understand what is sample and what is population, that I have explained you in a previous class. Sample is a small and representative part of the whole population, and population is infinite or finite number of people possesses a particular character. I will explain this again. Like I want to understand how many people are genius in this world. So I have to take an intelligence test of 700 crores people, and I have to find out whose IQ is above 130. Whose IQ is above 130. So the person having IQ above 130 is a genius person, and all people having IQ above 130 is a population of a genius people. I am not taking a population of a intelligence. I am taking population of a genius people, and normally it is stated that population can be 2.5% of total population. So genius people can be 2.5% and mentally retarded can be roughly 2.5%. So I cannot go to, say for example, just imagine out of 700 crores, it's 2.5% is 1.40 or I think 14 crores. So I cannot reach to 14 crores for collection of data. So I will take representative sample, and normally it is stated that 10% of sample size in a representative sample size is enough to do the research. These are all normal probabilities. Exception can be always there. It is not necessary always that you should take 10%. That is normally recommended. Exceptionally, the number of sample can be reduced or increased. There is one formula also to calculate the sample size. Now, sample and population. Sample is a small and representative part of the population, and population is infinite or finite people or events. Infinite or finite people or event representing certain psychological character. So I can find out a population of a population of student appearing in ESSC in India. I can find out a population of students appearing for UPSC examination. I can find out a population of student appearing in NEET examination. So that population is finite because I can calculate the whole number, complete number. But if I have to do research on student appearing on NEET, around 18 to 20 lakh student appears every year. So I have to take 5 to 10% of representative sample, and then I have to carry my survey or I have to carry my research. Now shifting to steps involved in conducting research, survey research. There are 7 steps given, and these steps I am explaining in detail so that the concept will be properly understood to you. I hope you are clear with the term sample and population and concept and meaning of survey research. In survey research, mostly we use either standardized test or non-standardized test. Non-standardized test means which can be constructed by yourself according to the need of your survey, or we can use only interview, or we can use case of any person to explain it in the form of survey research, or we can take cases, and in a complex survey research we can take combination of any two method. That is also possible. Now just move to steps involved in conducting survey research. There are 7 steps given. I will explain this step by example. An example you may like also. Yesterday I was designing a kind of survey research, and then that is why I have invited all second year students here. First step, determination of aims and objective of the study. Second step, define the population to be studied. Third step, design and construct of the survey. Fourth step, select representative sample. Fourth step, administer the survey. Fifth step, analyze and interpret the finding of the survey. Sixth step, prepare the report of the survey. And seventh step, communicate the finding of the survey. So this is the way, these are the steps that we'll discuss in detail with one example. I am planning to take you an example of addiction of adolescents about Instagram and Facebook. Now, how I came to understand addiction of Instagram and Facebook must be surveyed. That is one, by observation of many students in the age of 12 to 16 taking extreme steps, rarely taking extreme steps when they have been not allowed to use mobile, or they have not been allowed to go on this kind of social media. Some students are taking steps to fight with parents, not eating at home, not talking with people. These kind of steps are taken by some students, whereas in extreme cases some students are doing suicide also. That is known to us through newspaper reports. I know that, or even you know that, you are aware that in newspaper this kind of reports occurs frequently. So initially what this method states, you have to determine aim and objective. Now aim and objective has to be decided on the basis of your need. Now what is your need? You have to understand why this kind of addiction, particularly at this age, is built in the mindset of adolescents, boys and girls. That is your curiosity. That is your tendency to acquire new knowledge. So, it is stated that the researcher has to analyze the relevant area in which he has to study and first fix the aim of the study. Now, I have understood that I have to study adolescence. I have understood that I have to study Facebook and Instagram addiction. So I will write my aim as to understand addiction of adolescents for Instagram and Facebook. To understand addiction and of adolescents for Instagram and Facebook. This is the simplest way of writing the aim, and later on I will not move out of this aim while doing my research. I will restrict myself to this aim. My aim is understanding. My sample is, my population is adolescents of 12 to 18 years, and the character, psychological character is which I am studying, that is addiction of Facebook and Instagram. So now initially the objective the aim was set to study internet addiction, but then I have gone through newspaper articles, some research report, some research finding, and what I have observed that there are many researches available on internet addiction, and since I have to do a simple study, I have reduced my idea from internet addiction to the addiction of a Facebook and Instagram. And why Facebook and Instagram is selected? Because of newspaper reports in which normally adolescents, boy or girl, doing tantrum at home is most frequently reported nowadays. So this is the way I am identified my aim of the study. Now next is how to identify my objective. I hope it is clear to you. Now objective has to be little elaborated, and for writing the objective you must read some researches available on this topic, because what type of objectives are taken in previous researches, if it is known to you, then you will not repeat the objective. Your finding will not be as same as which is already done by somebody. So repetition of research has to be avoided. So hence I will go through at least 5 to 10 relevant research paper related to my topic, and I will try to understand what they have done. And when I will read their objectives, my brain will ignite and will tell me, or will make me understand the gap, what is not done by these 5 to 10 in 5 to 10 relevant research. So again, to obtain the 5 to 10 relevant research, you have to read 20 to 25 research. But that much is not necessary. If you want to select only relevant research, just go through the abstract and select the relevant research. So this way gap will be identified, and then I will focus on the gap. How I focused myself, that is how I have written the objective in this particular topic. See, it is now very clear to me. My topic is related to adolescence. Means I have to select the sample from the age group of 12 to 18 years age. Second, it is the study about the addiction. Addiction is a abnormality in psychology. In psychological term, it represents the abnormality. Means I am studying the abnormal behavior, and I am studying the abnormal behavior in area of Instagram and Facebook. So that way I have zeroed down to my ideas concretely at Instagram and Facebook. I have to study addiction of Instagram and Facebook. So how I came down? First my idea was to study the behavior. Then I have decided to study the abnormal behavior. Then I have decided to study abnormal behavior about addiction. Then I have decided to study abnormal behavior of internet addiction. And from internet addiction I zero down it to study Instagram and Facebook. That is way the person has to go into the detail so that the research can be completed within the stipulated time of 6 months or whatever the research period you select. Now I am writing the objective based on relevant research report studied. Now I have written 4 objectives. Now just understand what are these objectives. My first objective is understanding addiction level for Facebook and Instagram. So there are so many reports. So I want to objectively establish at what level this addiction level exists among adolescents. My second objective is understanding usefulness of both social media to adolescents. They are going on the Facebook and Instagram not only to distract themselves. That might not be their intention. It might be useful to them. It might be fascinating to them. So, I have written a second objective, understanding usefulness of both social media to adolescents. Then I have written the third objective, understanding disadvantage of both Facebook and Instagram. And the opposite side of the second objective. And fourth is what can be possible treatment to addicted adolescents. What type of possible treatment can be given to addicted adolescents. So it is possible that the sample which I will select may not have addiction level very high. The addiction level can be mild, moderate or severe. So what I will do, I will plan certain thing on the basis of my knowledge, which can be called as technique, and that I will use to treat those addicted people. So here my objective is over. Now my next step. My next step is define the population to be studied. Now I have already defined you the population, but I will again tell you what is my population here. My population is addicted people, but that is not my aim to study. I cannot study the entire addicted people. So then I have reduced it to addicted people on internet addiction people. Okay, then I have reduced it to addiction of Facebook and Instagram. But then I have various lifespan also, in which age addiction increases. So from the newspaper report I understood that the addiction increases in the adolescence age. So my population of the study is addicted girls and boys, Facebook and Instagram addicted girls and boys in an age group of 12 to 18. So this way I have zeroed down it to population. Now it is very clear that whom I have to study, whose study I have to do. Now, in the next fourth step, we'll understand how to draw a sample. Okay. Now, design and construct. What will be my design? How I will design it? Here, once the target population is defined by the researcher, he or she needs to design a survey research. On the basis of framed design, the research decides to conduct a survey. Researcher decides to conduct the survey, selecting instrument of survey, with the help of which data will be collected. So here it is said as design and construct. Now our design is survey research design. Our construct are also known Facebook addiction and Instagram addiction. We have zeroed down it to Facebook addiction and Instagram addiction. These are the two important construct we have understood. Now, framing the design. In a framing the design, you have to decide what method you will select for data collection. Will you use any standardized test? So I think standardized test may not be available because these are the recent trend. Facebook and Instagram addiction are the recent trend. So then I have to use unstructured questionnaire which I will design. So my next step will be to identifying the information about these adolescents, how they go addicted, how they become addicted, and what are the key issues related to them in acquiring the addiction. So that I have already written in the research form which I have constructed, that I will tell you later on. Or I have to go for taking interview of this student. Among all the design or among all the way of doing the research, for me what I feel that constructing own format and taking responses of adolescents, boys and girls will be more appropriate for me. It will be time saving and cost saving. So then my next job is to write the questions in an unstructured survey form. Before that, I will fix my sample, that is given in step 4. Either step 3 are given 2 times actually. Select a representative sample. Yesterday we have studied the sample and understood that how sample should be selected from the population. Now the process of construction of the survey instrument gives a way to the selection of a sample from the target population. It is vice versa also. You select a sample first, and then on the basis of availability of possible sample with you and with the sample size with you, you decide how to construct the survey form. Or you write a survey form first and then decide your sample. First method is better. See, what I needed. I needed who is Facebook and Instagram addicted. I needed age group of 12 to 18. Now getting adolescents of 12 to 18 is easy. You can go to any school, you can go to any home, friend's home, and you can find out what is the age of the children there in with your friend's home or in school. Simply from 6th 7th standard to 12th standard, all people belongs to the age group of 12 to 18 years. So where to get is finalized. Whom to contact for data collection is finalized. Now who will tell you I am addict? Who will tell you? Whether the boy will tell you, yes sir, you take my survey, I am Facebook and Instagram addict. So here the trick is there, which is not written in the book. When you actually deals with the problem, you have to use your common sense and some trick for reaching to the right number of sample. So I have just fixed that my sample size should be 30 only, because I am selecting addicted people, addicted adolescents, and getting addicted adolescents is not easy job. You can get adolescents easily in school, but getting addicted adolescents, chances are 1 out of 10, or chances are 2 out of 10, and chances can be 3 out of 10 also. So I will trickily write certain thing in my form, and I will be able to identify who is addicted and who is not addicted. So in fact I will conduct my survey form, I will conduct this survey form for more than 50 adolescents, boys or girls, and from there I will select the addicted people. Now the definition of addiction also has to be precisely explained. The fourth step is administration of a survey. Now before administration of a survey form should be ready with you. So I have just written one survey form, and in this survey form I have constructed a survey form. I have taken some personal information, and I have taken some information about the internet addiction. Personal information, how much I have taken, because I am going to further report, I am going to further analyze and interpret my findings on the basis of this personal information that is inside my mind. Number 1, the name of the boy or girl. Number 2, the gender, male, female or transgender. Number 3, mobile number. Number 3.1, mobile availability with you, whether for 24 hours, 12 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours or 1 hour. Then 3.2, mobile is own or you use parents' mobile. There are both the chances. Number 4, this is all personal information. The student is of CBSE board, state board or corporation school. If you are studying the tribal student, you can write the tribal school also. Then fifth information, family type. The family is joint family or nuclear family. Because accordingly then I will get scope to classify this addiction or addicted student. Parent. Your parents are divorcee, separated or united. 7. Type of adolescence. You are single parent child or you are a double parent child. Then parent status. You are in lower class, you are in middle class or you are in higher class. Status of the parent. Then parent is also classified. Parents are working, if working, both working or one is working. Normally parents are working, so both working or only one is working. 10. Can you, this is the most and the important question, can you control your desire to get Facebook or Instagram, to get into Facebook or Instagram? Can you control your desire to get into Facebook or Instagram? Answer is simple, yes or no. If answer is yes, then he will answer to some questions and he will quit. And if answer is no, he has to answer the form A. Now what is a form given within this form? There are points written actually. First point, aggregate. I look for Instagram and Facebook for 1 hour, oblique 2 hour, oblique 3 hour, oblique 6 hours, oblique 12 hours, oblique more than 12 hours. And second, my liking or habit is developed about looking content into both social media. My contents are pornographic content, nudity related content, relationship related content, adventure related content, news related content and event related content. So I have collected only 2 information. One is for how many hours he is entering in 3 information. One, he cannot control his desire or not. Those who are controlling the desire, okay. Not controlling, they are my addicted sample. That is why I said you have to take survey research of more than 30. Even your sample is 30. So you have to take 60 or till you have to continue your research, this completion of this form. By that time you will not have a 30 addicted student in hand. And then I have asked 2 important questions. For how many hours you go into Facebook and Instagram, and second is which type of content you see. To complete my entire research, I don't need anything more than these 2 questions. If I have to do a simple research, for a complex research I need so many things. So for a simple research I don't need much of the thing. These 2 questions are sufficient. Now I will do my classification of the answers of these 2 questions on the basis of the personal information I have obtained, which I have taken into 10 parts. Particularly name is not so important, but from gender all information is important to classify internet addiction of boy or girl. So I will get possible reasons of addiction. So, and this is called as the trickiness of construction of a form. People write so many questions, but they forget what exactly they need. Here, my 4th objective is to suggest the treatment plan. So how I will suggest the treatment plan unless I know the parent of the boy is divorcee or united. Unless I know the parental class, higher class, lower class, or middle class. So, all personal information collected is the basis of classification, and then I will get some insight. I will get some insight to write a report which can be made public, and public can be made aware about the addiction of Instagram and Facebook amongst the adolescents. So this form is actually the heart of entire research. I don't know how much it is understood, but I hope it is understood. You all are mature people. But if not understood, you can ask the question on personally to me, because I am going to conduct this research myself, and I am going to take help of somebody from you who will bring the data for me, particularly teachers. Because I am not going to any school to collect the data. My teachers will give me the data. I will give that survey form. Is it okay? Now, administration of the survey. So in an administration, if I have to go home to home, so I have to take the permission of the parent. Of course, then this form will be administered with the help of adolescents permission also. Or easy way of getting all adolescent student is school. So I will take permission from the principal, and I will administer this form to as many students as possible at a time, practically. I will give this 100 form to 100 students, they will fill it, and if the 30 student of my interest is received, I will stop my survey, and if it is not received, only 25 students are received, so for 5 students, I can go to another school or I can go to same school. And this way, the survey will be administered. Analyze and interpret the finding of the survey. Now from here your job begins. You have already made arrangement of analysis. So there are as good as 12 points, 11 to 12 points on the basis of which you can analyze. That is personal information. And there are 2 points, like which type of content they see in the Instagram and Facebook. On that basis also classification can be made, and on the basis of the hours they are engaged, the classification can be made about severity or moderateness or mildness of their addiction, Facebook and Instagram addiction. Then after analysis and interpretation is over, see, in analysis you can simply use the percentage of people addicted for nudity, the percentage of people addicted to see their own photograph, events, not their own, others' photograph. So they look at event actually. The percentage of people looks for news. The percentage of people look for adventurous activity. Only percentage is sufficient to explain or sufficient to analyze and interpret the data. Again, the percentage can be obtained in terms of, and compare also, percentage of parents, those who are divorcee, or a percentage of the parent, those who are separated but not yet divorced, is highest among the female, among the male. तो ये सब आपको तब समझ में आ जाएगा जब एक्चुअली आप डेटा कलेक्ट करेंगे. वो रिसर्च का कोई मतलब नहीं होता जो डेटा कलेक्शन के पहले आपको मालूम हो कि फाइंडिंग्स क्या आने वाली है. हियर आई एम नॉट एट ऑल अवेयर whose percentage will be higher, which content will be highly looked by the adolescents. So now I will go reverse. Which content he looks, that I will came to know when I will be really able to identify the addicted addicted person. And if that adolescence is addicted, I can claim about the adolescence later on that this kind of precaution has to be taken for adolescents. This is a hot topic nowadays, and I am going to do this research very religiously, collecting the data. I may collect the data more than 30 also, if possible. Now with this, a small form, I can do my PhD also. And final step is prepare the report of the survey. That is the latter part. What are your finding, it is represented in percentage, and bar diagram is obtained. On the basis of bar diagram and percentage, you have to write the report, means conclusion or finding of your survey. That is actually preparation of report, means importantly you have to write the abstract, conclusion, findings, some discussion part also in the report, and communicate the finding of the survey. Finally, this finding has to be communicated through research journal. Finding has to be communicated through research journal to the research community and through newspaper report to the media. And you can have your own blog, or you can have your own YouTube account in which you can make a PPT presentation, you can record it, and you can present it. So there are so many media nowadays available to publish your reports, your findings. So here I will stop. If you have any question, you can ask me. And
recording stopped.